Alright, so recently, if you know who I am, a lot of people have been questioning how people like me make cool stuff like this boxing mech arm or this dark fountain placing animation and build a boat for treasure. The answer to this is actually really simple. Pistons. Now you may be trying to ask me, well, Maze, how am I supposed to make complex fighting machines and move giant structures through or even outside the map with this dumb thing? It only stretches forward like 6 blocks. Well, today I'll not only be showing you tutorials on how to make a few very useful mechanisms with pistons, but I'll also be explaining how they work so that you can advance on these concepts to make even crazier builds. Piston joints are one of the best things you can make with pistons. To better explain what I mean by piston joints, I'll be providing you with what I personally think is the best example of them: the human muscular system. As humans, we expand and contract our muscles to move, and we're able to rotate our arms effectively because of the joints in our bones allowing our muscles to expand at high or low angles along the joints, depending on how much of our muscles are expanded. Piston joints work just like this, except because we don't have muscles in Build-A-Boat. Yet, you can think of the pistons as muscles, as they can both expand and contract at different angles, depending on how much you contract/expand them. And instead of bone joints, obviously, we'll be using blocks and hinges. This is a one-way piston joint. On either side, there's a metal rod. This green rod rotates when the piston is turned on, and the other is for anchoring it/putting the joint into place. As you increase the piston length, the angle will increase, and as you increase the piston speed, it will turn faster. I combined 2 of these to make the mech arm shown earlier. Overall, they work great and are practically infinitely strong plus simple in design. Here's how you make them if you want to. This is a 2-way piston joint. It has 2 pistons that are attached to the same 2 key binds, just in the opposite order. This allows them to switch between forward and back motions. It follows all the same rules as the one-way piston, but this version both functions and looks way better in many scenarios. Here's how you make them if you want to. Final note for this chapter, there is another kind of joints called servo joints, but they're pretty weak plus restricted in their movement. They're kind of just like the piston joint's cheap cousin, and I don't recommend using them. Additionally, combining a lot of joints together along with different types of joints can end up creating really cool stuff, and I highly recommend using them for future builds. We need more creativity in Build-A-Boat, and I'm getting tired of seeing all these kidnapping vans.